How y'all doing? I don't know if anybody's gonna come on right yet. It's that wind down part of the evening in my house where everybody is making noise, so you might hear a little noise in the background. But I'm gonna wait, see if a couple people show up. I see we got one person here. All right. Hey, how are you? Okay, so we got a few people. We'll have people come in. You know, it's been a very interesting week. I'm doing a live, y'all. I'm going to hurry up because I've got to go out and run an errand. Would y'all going to get food? Oh, okay. I thought they was going to go get some food without me. I was like, hold up. Wait a minute. But so anyways, you know, we've seen some in the last few years, we've seen some shit that we really kind of thought, oh man, I thought we was all over this bullshit by now. Thank you, like in my hair. You got boobs on your what?
Her boobs was on the back.
Oh, Amanda had her boobs on Belladonna's throat.
On the back. Okay, I wasn't motivated.
On the back of her throat. I just live here, y'all. I just live here. I swear for God, Bob and cheese. I just live here. So anyways, hello, Brazil. So we've seen some stuff. In the last few years, we've seen things like Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Eric Gardner, you know, and this is the mundane world, the non-magical world, you know, and one of the things that I think has happened, I know happens, is sometimes black people join the pagan community and they expect that their white counterparts, because, you know, we're not Christians and oppressive, and that the white counterparts are going to be liberal and not racist. And I don't know where folks, first of all, got that shit from. Paganism is a microcosm of society, just like, yeah, and it's distressing, you know. And sometimes to be a black person dealing with the constant onslaught of the media, of people being killed unjustly, it gives you what it's not even post traumatic stress syndrome. It's traumatic. You're in it every day. Okay. And so, you know, there are a lot of heightened sensitivities and things like that. But what really cracks me up, it's a sarcastic type of laugh, is that everybody, you can't fight every single battle. And one of the things that I have started to realize as a black person who has been an activist most of my life is that it is not our burden to teach white people how to act. I don't even know where people get the idea that, yeah, it's a microcosm. You're going to have racist pagans. See, this is the thing about racism. I don't give a fuck what you think about my race. No, I don't. Because I don't give people who are not important parts of my life that type of energy in my life. However, what you're gonna do is you're gonna respect me. And what we ain't gonna do is be mistreated and underserved and marginalized. So in your privacy of your own home, your temple, you can burn all the goddamn crosses you want to. I don't care. But out here in these streets, see, we are not our parents.
I don't want nobody.
Fuck it with me.
Thought you wanted the soundtrack.
In these streets.
Fuck it with me. Streets.
You'll catch these goddamn hands. I will die defending my rights as an American citizen, as a human being. So I've been, you know, when, hey, how you doing? How you, Larry? I need to call you. I need to talk to you about something. I've got a client for you. But the thing is that there's racism everywhere. And so, you know, if I see it, especially from somebody, now I'm not going to even trip on somebody who's in some of these white pagan religions that really don't have anything to do with ATRs, because I don't know what goes on in them. That's not my lane. I don't care. But what happened the other day when we saw someone who had been a Haitian Ngan and somebody told him something about voodoo, but what you have to understand is I talked to a lot of Haitians and they give them basic information, but they don't even want to give some of us black folks from this country the assault. So whatever these people are getting is not the real deal. Okay. And if it was the real deal, that particular individual would have the fear of the law down deep in his soul that he would have never opened his mouth to talk all that fuck shit. So I'm going to let spirits deal with him. What I wanted to do was, I didn't even know this was happening. This man had been supporting me and my efforts to further black practitioners in this community. He had tagged me in a status, promoted the Black Craft Emporium. I kind of glanced over his books, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to go get initiated first. And then I wanted to go back and read his books because I didn't want to have my mind messed up. Because I can tell you right now, I'm working with people who live voodoo as their life. And there are very vast differences from the things that I've read and I've been told by others that have very little to do with what voodoo is really about. And I'm having to relearn a lot of things. So in the magical community, I've already said this, I don't have time to sit online and argue in groups. And I figured I'd do one dragging a day. You know, I saw that shit. I said what I had to say about it. People are now hip to what he's about and what he's doing. And I moved on. I got a business to run, kid to raise, a job to do. Because the reality of the matter is we're not going to change him. Somehow he has fallen over the cliff of the alternate right. And there are a lot of people who have fallen down that cliff. Because they've drank the Kool-Aid that the advancements of us, you know, if this was the case that a black president, they would have been messed up if we was going to do them like they do us. Quite frankly, I don't understand why that hasn't happened yet, but that's neither here nor there. But what I see people always wanting to have this big call of arms anytime they see some white racists in their various communities. Now, you're not going to stand in an ATR and act a fool like that. No, people who have a vested interest and ancestors in those traditions, we're not going to stand for it. But we're going to say something and we're going to move on. But I was approached by someone today about it, and I'm like, okay, this story is done. Everybody knows who he is. He's not even a voodoo saint anymore. He's pretty much walked away from everything that he's preached and professed for over a number of years. And they're like, you know, we're talking about white pagan racists. And the thing is, it's like, you know, once again, we're being asked to police people who could give a fuck, really. It's just like the many articles that we had about, you know, black people being tired of trying to educate non-black people about what our issues are when they caused the issues in the first place. The society that built this caused those issues in the first place. I'm not here to educate white folks. And most racists, y'all, they're not going to change their views. So what I've learned is I had to really, when I went out on my own and started my own business, I had to decide, well, who's my audience going to be? Who are the people that I am going to advocate for? And I've never, ever, ever made any bones about it. You know, there's a lot of white occult stores and they fulfill the needs of their community. But where we were having holes was in our own community. Being able to support and to go to each other for our magical practices. And so that's my concern. My concern, you know, if I see somebody who's taking advantage of somebody by saying they're doing certain spell works or offerings in another tradition that is part of the diaspora, then yeah, I'm going to say something. But it is not my job to start trying to bring these people down. I've had enough interactions with non-black pagans to know that most of the time when you go in and you're like, look, do you see this fuck shit? They're like, oh, they'll make excuses. They'll explain it away. But in the end, you are still left standing alone. So the reality of the matter is really gonna let them do what they do. People might not like that. They might not want to take no for an answer. But see, I figure that if I take the time to help my people, I take the time to educate them about what they want to know about the occult and to help them in their spiritual path and to keep them away from people of all colors who can cheat them and mistreat them and let them lead the best life, then that's what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not going to jump up and start these campaigns against, skinhead, racist pagans, because I really don't want shit to do with them. Protesting them would be like, I want some type of inclusion in their world. And I don't. Of course I'm going to speak out. My concern, I've always said, my 98% of my customers are black people. I have white customers. I have white people who have taken my classes. And I treat everybody with the same level of respect. But when it comes down to social justice, when it comes down to educating people about their backgrounds, their ancestors, their magic, my concern is black people. So these people can continue to go and do whatever they want as long as they show me respect. You can have whatever beliefs you want. That's what a free country is all about. But I think that I would be remiss to let my ministry get away from what I believe and what the spirits have told me I'm supposed to be doing for people. And I know I've talked to enough racists. I've talked to enough people who have hard line opinions about things that I know that, especially me as a black woman, I really can't say anything that affects them. And you know what? I'm not going to try. I like to work with people who are receptive to the things that I want to do or the things that are good for us. And so what I say to all the numerous white folks who keep filling my inbox with this type of stuff, because now I guess I'm some sort of pagan social justice warrior. No. Because I really think that if you are Caucasian and you don't like what they're doing in your religions and your communities, don't you think that it is your job to fix that? How is it that it's my job or anybody else from an oppressed race or socioeconomic class, how is it our job to fix them? Some folks don't want to be fixed. I would much rather spend my time doing things that are going to further us. Yes, D will school the fuck out of you. Now, I got some white friends that will drag you to death, okay? Danny Pennington will drag you. D. McCurtney will drag you. Catherine Lynch Monk, she will drag you, okay? And make you feel bad that you probably woke up that morning.
I woke up like this. Sorry.
But that's not my job. Of course I'm going to say something. Of course I'm going to speak up. But y'all got it twisted. If you think I'm going to go, and I'm not going to make unholy alliances. I'm not going to partner with people that I normally don't have absolutely, shut up, fool, would not have anything to do with on an ordinary day. I'm not fucking with you on that level with that. I'm going to let you take care of that. So that's all I wanted to let you guys know. If you want to concentrate on these people that are definitely sick, there's something wrong with them. If you want to try to convince them to change, somebody is who they are, they try to take homosexuals to conversion camps. And that's going to be the most psychologically damaging, horrible thing you could probably do to a person. But these folks are absolutely stuck in their ways. There's no way I can send them to black camp. This guy, what is his name? Kanaz Falan. He went to black camp. He went to Haiti. And somehow, years later, he's come out and he's pro-white and ethnic cleansing. You can't, for a lot of the times, change people.
White lives matter.
every life matters, but except
for
black people, gay people, immigrants, people. Right? So yeah, there's something wrong with them. And I got enough people who have emotional sickness that are willing to work with me and willing to be positive members of the community that I don't really have time for losers. I say what I have to say about them. Yeah, trans folks, nobody else's lives matter but them. Let them go off on their own little island. I swear, if they wanted to secede, I would give them North Dakota, Wyoming. There's a few states that I would just give them. They can keep them. Okay, if that's what they want to do and they want to be away from us, But my mission is to make people's lives better. And if there are people that are definitely going to try to tear people apart, if there are going to be people that are going to try to keep people from opportunities, I'm not saying that we don't fight, but I think that it's very misguided where you're trying to change them. Now, one thing is the reason why I say something about these people is because we don't need to be putting no more money in their pockets. People who are culture vultures, people who are racist, we don't need to be buying their books. We don't need to be buying their magical products. We don't need to be buying their magical services, and that's it. Say something, keep it moving, because there's plenty of us that you can get your stuff from who aren't racist, white and black, okay? But I'm going to make it very, very clear because I can see something happening, because the way I found out about this was in my inbox. And anytime some white pagan steps out of pocket, I get an inbox. And I don't mind knowing about it because I think it's very important that we know. But I think, changing these people, trying to convert them and make them somebody different, it's like Christians. How many Christians have you spoken to about being a pagan, being a witch, being a voodoo saint? I spoke to my own daddy for hours. Okay, my brother has done the same thing. And I'm like, dude, telling him all the stuff about the Bible that he never knew, telling him about the hidden books, telling him about the Council of Nicaea, telling him about the Epic of Gilgamesh, for God's sakes. And how none of the stuff that he got from that conversation was enough for him to change his religion. He's 70 years old. And he's like, I'm good. So imagine what it's like when you go to one of these racists and you're trying to tell them where they're wrong. You see it all day long. If we had $1 for every minute that folks spend arguing with troll racists online, we'd be some rich motherfuckers. In fact, we could go get our own country. We wouldn't even need this bullshit. So don't waste your time. Spend your time with the people who want to grow. It's not just spend time with people who think like you, because that you can't learn, when you're constantly surrounded with people that just say the same things over and over again. You're never going to learn. But spend time with people that are going to help you grow. Stop obsessing over people that are here to maim and destroy. Because if this is a spiritual journey that we're on, that's not the way to get there, Yeah, we're going to keep speaking up, We're not going to take being killed out in the streets laying down. But when it gets to these people and their witchcraft beliefs and what they're doing, because believe me, the reason why they're in power is because of this. Number one, they convinced us that our power was evil and wrong. All the while in secret societies doing all kinds of shit magically to keep us oppressed, and got us to come over to the meek and mild religion and abandon our ancestors. And I'm going to tell you something, boo-boo. If you don't honor and venerate your ancestors, someone else will. Somebody can, if you are ignoring your ancestors, somebody can even go dig up the bones of your ancestors and work with them. So basically, it was a diversion, okay? And this too is a diversion. This constantly looking at what they're doing and talking about what they're doing instead of taking the time to get the education you need for your magical practice, to get the relationship with your spirits and your ancestors that you should be doing. And that's the other thing. When I first got in the pagan community, oh God damn. And I had to tell somebody tonight in the inbox, I said, white pagans keep up more shit than a little bit. I ain't got time for that. I found that I was spending time online arguing with people I didn't even fucking know. We'll probably never meet. But the minute I walked away from that and I started looking at my people, and people were like, oh, I've always wanted to know how to work the root. I always wanted to know why my grandmother did this. I always wanted to know about the religions of our ancestors. And I always want to see why everybody says that what we do is demonic. And the reason why they tell you that is to take your power. So I encourage all of you, take your power back. Spend your time wisely. Be a social justice warrior, but at the same time, fortify yourself. If you are a magician, then you need to be doing the work. There's no fucking way that you can be doing the work if you spend it all day online in these groups talking about somebody else's business. Because you learn the magic of your oppressor. That's one thing you do. They learned ours. They learned ours enough to pinpoint things that we did and turn them into evil. They went and witnessed things that we did. So instead of talking about animal sacrifice and everybody sitting down and having a meal after a portion was given to God or the spirit and everybody else ate because they weren't going to the grocery store, they started talking about killing babies and shit like that. But when you really start and look at some of their ancient religions, and Logan posted some deep ass shit about when a man was high up in the Norse community and he committed a crime, they would tie him to a tree and they would hack his back apart with an axe, and then they would pull his lungs out and put them up on his shoulders. And if he screamed during it, he would not get to go to paradise. He'd go to hell. So when you want to talk about some shit that some folks did that was fucked up, you might want to step away from the ATRs when you're talking about that. It's brainwashing. So spend time doing what's important to you. My commitment is to, first of all, my people. And I've never, ever, ever said anything otherwise. Money's green. I've done white work for white people. As they say, I've got white friends. I really do. I actually really do. And they get it. And I'll not spend a whole bunch of fucking time educating. You want to know why? Because they spent time to learn about me. They spent time to learn about my people. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. But, excuse me, leave these other folks alone. If they're racist, put them on Front Street. Don't buy their shit. Keep it moving. I promise you, anytime I find somebody that's on some racist fuck shit, I'm going to tell y'all, all my posts are public. But what I ain't going to do is spend days and weeks in a campaign against them. You want to know why? Because I got money to make. I got dreams that I want to make come true. See, this ain't Christianity, so I don't feel bad about making my paper. My reward is here. Okay? I don't want to live in hell. This can be hell. I want to live the best life possible, and that is spiritually, mentally, and financially. So you can't be productive, you can't be educated if you spend all fucking day online going after people that don't give a fuck about you anyway. Okay? All right. I'm going to go find me something to eat. Because once again, that's why I'm fat. Because I'm always eating at fucking 10 o'clock at night. But I had a reading to do. So I had things. But, if you have any questions about anything, anybody that ever wants to learn anything, if you want to know anything that I'm permitted to tell you that is not a secret to my tradition, I'll tell you. And then I'll show you how to go out and do things on your own. I'm an educator. But these people are worthless. That's what you need to understand. These racist fucking trolls are worthless. When they come on my page with some fuck shit, I cuss them out, I delete them, I block them, and I keep it moving. And I suggest you do the same. Love, peace, Afro Grease. Good night, lovelies.